Hello, and welcome to tutorial number 1, Getting Started with MK Flux Pro 3D. The objective of this tutorial is to discover the basic functions of MK Flux Pro 3D. By creating a very simple network, we are in front of the interface, which is empty. We are going to create a new network by clicking on the New Network button. The software loads the 3D space in which we will evolve and insert the different elements in our network. So how do we insert the elements into our network? We have several possibilities. We'll start with a library containing the items that have been saved. Here, for example, we will create a small network consisting of ducts with a diameter of 100 mm. We'll start by selecting an item from the library, a 100 mm diameter duct. We drag it into the network, the 3D interface, and drop it. It will therefore position itself in the center, at the origin of our 3D space. When we have just inserted an element in the network, we are in mode Adjust. We can, by selecting a point of the grid, orient and size, duct length being adjusted. So here we insert a conduit with a diameter of 100 mm. A length of 1 meter, we are going to apply 2 meters. We select the second point, the grid repositions itself, allowing us access to a third, fourth, fifth point. So we could thus adjust the length at will. Each time we select the grid, it moves. We can thus move in 3D space, and thus position our other pipe. So in the interface, this ergonomic 3D positioning system is registered by MK Flux under the name IntelliGrid. We validate and exit adjustment mode. We want to continue after this duct, with a duct of the same diameter. Just select the duct and click on Continue after the element selected. This opens trim mode. The insertion point is at the exit of the last conduit. Notice what happens when you click on Validate. After inserting a pipe that is perpendicular to another, or at another angle, but not in alignment, the automatic insertion of an elbow is done. The software automatically interposes an elbow between two elements that have a different orientation. The radius of curvature of this elbow can be modified. We can set a larger radius, or set a sharp angle. So we enlarged the radius of the elbow, the two elements framing the elbow, to preserve the implantation points. And here we see the redesigned elbow. We can also modify the orientation of this elbow. We orient it at 90 degrees. We can also modify the deviation, i.e. the direction of the exit, the angle between the exit and the entry of the elbow. We will leave at 90 degrees. We can also insert changes in diameter. Selecting the last conduit, we use the function enlarge, create a cone. The cone editor appears. The output diameter is automatically proposed at twice the selected diameter. We leave it like that, we just change the angle and make a softer cone, 10 degrees, and we select insert diverging cone downstream of conduit. No, we will instead select insert and extend. This function allows us to insert the cone and extend it with a duct of corresponding diameter. We can adjust the direction and the length of the conduit with Adjust menu, which we saw previously. Which brings us back to Adjust mode. The direction and length, depending on the selected grid point. In the Adjust mode, we can set a precise length. 1.25 for example. Or we could set the coordinates of the conduit exit. So we can give an attitude and the coordinates in x and y dot. Apply the coordinates. We have to give a more coherent direction. We continue now with a new network, in which we will see the connections. We inserted a 100 mm conduit and see how to do it. To create a bifurcation, just select Create a Separation. The software offers 3 default angles, which we can then modify. We choose a separation at 135 degrees. We have the main section and the 2 branch sections, which have been created. So it is interesting to look now at the tree representing the network. We see here that we have a start 135 element merged with the other start element in the other branch. These merged elements are symbolized in the tree by a small junction in pink. This allows us to orient ourselves more quickly in the tree. When the networks become complex, we adjust the branches and change the deflection angle of this fitting. We see here the bifurcation, which has been updated. We now have a 90 passage. Because the fluid that follows this direction crosses the connection detected as a 90 passage, of which we see the symbol. If we go to the other section, we see a junction or departure at 90, the path of the fluid is at right angles, and it is not the same element. It is indeed 2 different elements that are merged in the same location. If for example I direct a perpendicular start, here, I validate. We see, in the tree, that the passage at 90 degrees has become a junction or departure at 90 degrees. So much for the connections. We will see in the tutorial on loops how to create more complex ramifications.